The galaxy had changed in the past 500,000 years. Once filled with human life, Earth was now a distant memory. Alien civilizations had thrived, but no one had heard from Earth in ages. Many thought it was just a myth, a lost world. However, in the depths of space, something stirred. On a sleek spaceship called the Seeker, a team of aliens known as the Zephyrians was on a mission. Their leader, Commander Zara, was known for her bravery and curiosity. She always pushed her team to explore uncharted territories. Today, they were scanning the stars for anything unusual. Suddenly, a strange signal echoed through the ship's communication system. "Captain, we've picked up a signal," exclaimed a young alien named Crix. His wide, glowing eyes sparkled with excitement. "What kind of signal?" Commander Zara asked, her interest piqued. "It's unlike anything we've ever encountered. It's strong and consistent. It seems to be coming from a planet in the far reaches of the galaxy." Crix's fingers danced over the control panel, adjusting the ship's settings. Zara's heart raced. "Plot a course for that planet. Let's find out what it is." The crew hurried to obey. The ship glided through the stars faster than the speed of light. As they traveled, Zara couldn't shake the feeling of excitement mixed with unease. What if the signal was a warning? Or perhaps a trap? After hours of traveling, they finally arrived at the planet. Its surface was covered in blue and green hues, surrounded by swirling clouds. It looked beautiful but also haunting. Zara peered through the viewport, trying to gather her thoughts. "Commander, we've landed!" announced Crix. "Let's prepare to explore," Zara commanded. "We need to see what's causing this signal." As they exited the ship, a strange mix of sounds filled the air. Birds sang and the wind rustled through the trees. The atmosphere felt alive, but it was eerily quiet around them. The Zephyrians stepped cautiously, their bright skin contrasting sharply against the lush greenery. Suddenly, they stumbled upon a hidden clearing. In the center stood an enormous structure, half buried in the earth. It looked like a giant metal shell with rusted edges and symbols engraved all over it. "What is this?" Crix whispered, awe filling his voice. "It looks like a ship," Zara replied, eyes wide with wonder. "But it's ancient." The structure was covered in vines and foliage, as if nature had tried to reclaim it. Zara felt a strange connection to the ship. She approached it cautiously, running her fingers over the cold metal. As she did, the symbols began to glow. The Zephyrian stepped back, surprised. "What's happening?" Crix asked, his voice shaking slightly. Zara took a deep breath. I think we've activated something." Suddenly, the ship let out a loud rumble. The ground shook beneath their feet, and a beam of light shot up into the sky. The signal they had detected flared brightly, sending waves of energy throughout the area. "Commander, we need to get back to the ship," Crix shouted, panic rising in his voice. "No, wait!" Zara insisted. "We need to understand what this is. This could be a crucial moment for us." Before she could say more, the light from the ship intensified, illuminating the surrounding area. Then a holographic image appeared above the ship. It showed scenes of humans in battle, flying ships, and vast fleets. The Zephyrians watched in awe and fear. "Is this a warning?" Crix asked, trembling. "I'm not sure," Zara replied, her mind racing. "But it seems like a message from a long-lost civilization." As the hologram flickered, Zara felt a surge of determination. "We must learn more about this civilization. They could hold secrets that might change everything for us." The Zephyrians stood in silence, absorbing the gravity of the moment. They had discovered something incredible, an ancient message from Earth, a planet they had thought was just a story. Now, they were faced with the reality that perhaps humanity was not as forgotten as they had believed. Little did they know, this discovery would lead to a journey that would change their understanding of the galaxy forever. As the light from the ancient ship faded, Commander Zara and her team remained rooted to the ground, staring at the holographic images of a long-lost civilization. The flickering scenes showed humans in remarkable warships, engaging in battles against enemies. Each image told a story of courage and strength, filling the Zephyrians with awe. "What have we stumbled upon?" Crix asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Zara shook her head, still trying to process what they had seen. "This is more than just a message. It's a glimpse into a world we thought was gone forever. We need to learn everything we can about these humans and their fleet." With renewed determination, Zara turned back toward the ancient ship. Its massive metal structure loomed over them, partly hidden by trees and vines. She could sense a powerful energy emanating from it, beckoning them to explore further. "Let's see if we can access the ship's systems," she instructed her team. The Zephyrians moved closer, scanning the surface of the ship for any signs of openings. After searching for a few minutes, they found a hatch covered in rust. It looked old but seemed to have some type of mechanism. "Commander, should we try to open it?" Crix asked, glancing nervously at the hatch. "Yes, but be careful. We don't know what's inside," Zara replied. Using their tools, they began to pry open the hatch. It creaked and groaned, but finally the door swung open, revealing a dark interior. Zara activated her handheld light, illuminating the dusty corridors of the ancient ship. "This place feels alive," Crix said, glancing around nervously. Zara nodded, feeling the weight of history in the air. "We must tread carefully. There could be technology here that we can learn from." As they ventured deeper into the ship, they discovered large chambers filled with old weapons, control panels, and remnants of what once was a mighty fleet. Each room told a story of battles fought and victories won. But there was something unsettling about it all. It felt as if the ship was waiting for something, as if it had been asleep for ages. "What do you think happened to these humans?" Crix asked, his voice echoing through the empty halls. "They were powerful," Zara replied thoughtfully. "But perhaps they became too powerful, or maybe they faced an enemy they could not defeat. We need to find the ship's main control room. That's where we'll learn the most." After exploring for what felt like hours, they finally reached a massive chamber with a large circular control panel in the center. Zara and Crix stepped closer, their hearts racing. "Can you access the systems?" Zara asked, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Crix nodded and began to examine the panel. His fingers flew over the buttons and switches. After a few moments, the screen flickered to life, displaying a complex array of symbols and text. "I think I'm getting in!" Crix exclaimed, a mix of excitement and fear in his voice. Suddenly, the lights around them flickered on, illuminating the room with a soft glow. The control panel whirred and beeped, and a deep voice echoed throughout the chamber. "Welcome to the Earth Fleet. Systems activating. Please input command." Zara felt a rush of adrenaline. "This is it! We can learn how to operate these ships. We might even be able to revive the fleet." Crix focused on the screen, scrolling through data. "Commander, it looks like there are thousands of ships hidden in stasis. We can bring them back to life!" "Then let's do it!" Zara said, determination shining in her eyes. "We can't let this power fall into the wrong hands. We must prepare ourselves." As Crix began to input commands, Zara's mind raced with thoughts of what this ancient fleet could mean for the Zephyrians. If they could harness this power, they could protect their galaxy from threats they had never imagined. But deep down, a part of her felt the weight of responsibility. What if the secrets of this fleet were too dangerous? What if they awakened something that should remain asleep? Before she could ponder further, the control panel lit up and a message flashed across the screen. Awakening sequence initiated. "Prepare for revival." Zara and Crix exchanged a glance, a mix of excitement and fear in their eyes. They were about to uncover the legacy of humanity. Little did they know, this decision would set off a chain of events that would change the fate of the galaxy forever. As the ancient ship hummed with energy, Commander Zara felt a surge of hope and fear. They had awakened something powerful, something that could change the balance of the galaxy. The control panel blinked steadily, indicating that the revival of the Earth fleet was in progress. "Are you ready for this?" Crix asked, his voice shaking with excitement. Zara nodded, her heart pounding. "We need to be. We have no idea what kind of power we are dealing with here." The chamber was filled with lights and sounds as the control panel processed its commands. Images of warships, sleek and formidable, appeared on the screen. They looked like they had been built for speed and firepower. The ancient ships were about to awaken from their long slumber. Suddenly, the control panel beeped loudly. "Revival sequence complete. Fleet activation successful. Prepare for launch." Zara felt a wave of exhilaration wash over her. "Let's get to the launch bay," she ordered. The team raced through the dark corridors, their footsteps echoing in the silence. As they approached the launch bay, the atmosphere grew tense. Zara felt the weight of their actions pressing down on her. Were they unleashing something that could threaten the galaxy? When they arrived at the launch bay, they were greeted by a breathtaking sight. Rows upon rows of ships sat gleaming in the artificial lights, ready for action. Each vessel was adorned with symbols of a time long gone. Zara's heart soared. Look at them, Crix shouted, his eyes wide with wonder. They're magnificent! Zara took a deep breath, trying to steady her racing heart. We need to assess the fleet's capabilities. We don't know what we're up against. Suddenly, the screen in the launch bay lit up, displaying a tactical map of the surrounding area. Warning, unidentified ships detected in proximity. Engaging battle mode, the computer announced. What? Crix exclaimed, his excitement turning to fear. Who are they? Zara squinted at the screen. They look like the Vorgons. They're known for their aggressive expansion tactics. They must have detected our signal and are coming to investigate. Commander, we need to prepare for battle, Crix urged, panic in his voice. Zara's mind raced. We have no choice. If they come here, they will destroy everything we've awakened. Get to the control panel and prepare the fleet for launch. As Crix hurried to the control panel, Zara organized the rest of the team. We need to strategize. Let's split into two groups. One to manage the fleet and the other to gather information on the Vorgons. The team sprang into action. Zara felt the adrenaline pumping through her veins as she moved quickly and efficiently. She had always been a strategist, and now was her moment to shine. Crix worked feverishly at the control panel. I've found their movements. They're getting closer. He turned to Zara, fear etched on his face. We need to launch now. Do it, Zara shouted. Activate the fleet. We can't let them take this ship or our knowledge. The bay doors opened, and the ancient warships began to emerge, gliding gracefully into the void of space. Zara watched as the fleet assembled, ready for battle. Each ship was a testament to human ingenuity and strength. They looked like knights of the stars, prepared to defend their realm. Commander, the Vorgons are here, Crix called out, pointing to the display. They're on an attack course. Zara's heart raced. Prepare to engage. We need to defend our position. As the Vorgon ships approached, their dark silhouettes loomed ominously against the backdrop of distant stars. Zara felt a mixture of fear and determination. This was not just a fight for their survival. It was a fight to honor the legacy of humanity. Fire the weapons, she commanded. The fleet responded instantly. Beams of light shot from the ships, illuminating the darkness. The battle erupted in a brilliant display of energy. Zara felt exhilaration and fear intertwine as the first explosion lit up the void. The ancient fleet was alive, and they were fighting back. Commander, they're retaliating, Crix shouted as the Vorgons fired their weapons. The ship shook under the force of the blasts, but Zara held her ground. Keep firing! We can't let them push us back. The battle raged on, filled with chaos and determination. Zara knew that the fate of the galaxy rested on their shoulders. With every blast and maneuver, they were not just fighting for their lives, they were fighting to reclaim the legacy of Earth. Little did they know, this battle would be only the beginning of their incredible journey. The battle raged in the vastness of space, with laser beams flashing and explosions lighting up the darkness. Commander Zara watched from the bridge of the ancient flagship as her fleet engaged the Vorgon ships. The strategy she had devised was working, but the enemy was relentless. Commander, we're taking heavy damage, Crix shouted, his eyes glued to the display. If we don't find a way to turn the tide, we might lose everything. Zara felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. They had only just awakened this fleet, and now they were in a fight for survival. We need to regroup and focus our fire on one enemy ship at a time, she instructed. That way we can weaken their forces. As her team followed her orders, Zara noticed a small ship drifting away from the main battle. It bore the markings of the Vorgons, but was much smaller and less imposing than the others. Zara squinted, trying to make sense of its intentions. Commander, should we target that ship? Crix asked, pointing at the small vessel. Zara hesitated. No, wait, it's moving away from the battle. Let's keep an eye on it. Moments later, the small Vorgon ship sent a transmission. Zara's heart raced. Could it be a trap? She decided to take the risk. Open the channel, she commanded. A holographic image flickered to life, revealing a tall figure with shimmering green skin and piercing yellow eyes. The being wore a regal uniform that showed its high rank among the Vorgons. Zara of Earth, the figure said in a deep, resonant voice. I am General Tarek of the Vorgon Empire. I come in peace. Zara raised an eyebrow. In peace? After attacking us? Why should we believe you? General Tarek's expression softened. I understand your distrust. The Vorgon Empire is not as simple as it seems. We seek not just conquest, but also alliances. Your fleet is impressive, and I propose a ceasefire. A ceasefire? Crix echoed, his eyes wide. Why would you want that? Because, Tarek replied, I see potential in your people. You have awakened the power of an ancient fleet that could be a valuable ally. The galaxy is changing, and I believe our two species can benefit from working together. Zara was taken aback. She had expected hostility, not an offer of alliance. And what's in it for you? She asked, crossing her arms defensively. Power, Tarek admitted candidly. The Vorgon Empire faces threats from enemies both near and far. An alliance with Earth would strengthen us against those who seek to conquer. We can share technology, resources, and knowledge. Zara glanced at Crix, who looked equally confused and intrigued. This is a big decision, General. We need time to consider it, she said, trying to keep her voice steady. I will grant you that time, Tarek replied. But I urge you to act quickly. Our forces are not as united as they seem. There are factions within the Vorgon Empire that wish to continue the war. Together we can stand against them. The hologram flickered, and Zara felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her. She had just awakened humanity's ancient fleet, and now she was faced with an unexpected choice. An alliance could mean safety, but could she trust the Vorgons? General Tarek, Zara finally said, we will consider your proposal, but I want a show of good faith. If we are to work together, you must provide us with evidence of your intentions. Tarek nodded, his expression serious. I understand. We will send a small delegation to your ship to discuss terms further. In the meantime, I suggest you prepare your fleet for any possible attack from my own forces. We must prove to each other that we are serious about peace. With that, the hologram faded, leaving Zara and Crix in silence. What do you think? Crix asked, his brow furrowed. Can we really trust them? Zara sighed, weighing the options in her mind. I don't know, but we can't ignore the possibility of an alliance. We need to gather more information and see what the Vorgons truly offer. The battle outside continued, but the chaos seemed distant now. Zara knew she had a decision to make, one that could change the course of their history. The fate of her people and the legacy of Earth's fleet hung in the balance. Let's prepare for the delegation, she said finally. We will hear them out, but we must remain vigilant. Trust must be earned, not given freely. As they moved to implement their plans, Zara's heart raced. This could be the beginning of a new chapter, or it could lead them into deeper conflict. Only time would tell. The atmosphere on the flagship was thick with tension. Commander Zara paced the command center, her mind racing with thoughts of the proposed alliance. General Tarek's offer lingered in her mind. Could it lead to a new future for humanity, or was it a trap? As she prepared for the arrival of the Vorgon delegation, her crew moved about with purpose. Crix was at the control panel, monitoring their systems and keeping an eye on the battlefield. The remnants of the previous battle had left both sides shaken, but hopeful for a resolution. Commander, the Vorgon ship is approaching, Crix announced. They're hailing us. Put them through, Zara replied, steeling herself for the next step. The holographic image of General Tarek appeared again, looking as calm and regal as before. Zara, thank you for agreeing to meet. I bring with me two of my finest advisors. As the transmission flickered, two more figures appeared, one with red skin and the other a shimmering blue. They wore uniforms similar to Tarek's, signaling their high rank within the Vorgon hierarchy. Welcome to our flagship, Zara said, trying to maintain a sense of control. We are ready to hear your terms for this alliance. Tarek stepped forward. Thank you, Commander. My advisors, General Kor and Chief Scientist Lyra, are here to provide insights into our technology and intentions. Together, we can forge a path forward. The three Vorgons bowed slightly, a gesture Zara found both strange and respectful. She gestured for them to sit around the central table. Let's begin with the technology you mentioned. How can we benefit from this alliance? General Kor spoke first. Our ships have advanced cloaking technology and energy weapons that could greatly enhance your fleet's capabilities. In return, we seek access to Earth's resources and knowledge, especially regarding your advanced engineering. Zara listened closely. And what's to stop us from taking this technology and using it against you? Chief Scientist Lyra leaned forward. You have the right to be cautious. However, our enemies are formidable. Without each other, we are both vulnerable. If we unite, we can protect our worlds from threats like the Zalax Empire, which seeks to conquer all in its path. The mention of the Zalax Empire sent a chill down Zara's spine. She knew of their brutal reputation. What can you tell us about the Zalax? How prepared are they for a fight? They are powerful, Tarek replied, his expression serious. They have advanced ships and weaponry, and they do not hesitate to destroy those who oppose them. Together we can stand against them. Alone we will surely fall. Zara felt the weight of their words. The thought of fighting the Zalax alone was terrifying. What do you propose we do first? Tarek smiled slightly. Let us conduct joint training exercises. This will help us understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. We can also develop tactics to counter the Zalax's attacks. Zara nodded, considering the plan. It sounds reasonable, but we need to start with trust building. I suggest a series of meetings and collaborative missions to strengthen our bond. Agreed, Tarek said, looking pleased. We will begin immediately. As the discussion continued, Zara felt a sense of hope rising within her. They were not just making a deal, they were forming a partnership. She envisioned a future where Earth and the Vorgon Empire stood united against common enemies, each benefiting from the other's strengths. After several hours of intense discussions, the meeting concluded. Zara felt a weight lift off her shoulders. Thank you for your honesty and commitment, she said, looking at each member of the Vorgon delegation. We have a long way to go, but this feels like the start of something significant. We will prove our worth, Tarek replied, a determined glint in his eye. You will not regret this alliance. As the Vorgon delegation left the flagship, Crix approached Zara. Do you really think this will work? He asked, concern evident in his voice. Zara paused, looking out at the stars. I hope so. We have no choice but to try. If we fail, we risk losing everything. But if we succeed, we could change the galaxy. The next few weeks were filled with training and planning. The ancient fleet worked alongside the Vorgons, learning new strategies and sharing technology. Zara found herself amazed by the camaraderie that developed between their crews. Despite the challenges, Zara felt a new energy among her team. They were not just soldiers, they were pioneers of a new era. Earth and the Vorgon Empire were standing together, ready to face whatever came their way. As they prepared for their first joint mission against the Zalax Empire, Zara felt a rush of determination. They were no longer just remnants of an ancient war. They were a united force. Together, they would rise to meet the challenges ahead. Let's show them what we're made of, she declared, her voice ringing with confidence. The crew cheered, and Zara knew that this was truly a new beginning for them all. The stars above glimmered with possibilities, and for the first time in a long while, hope filled the hearts of humanity.